Hi everyone, I wanted to make a quick video and share some information about what's going on in the market here in the DMV area. I've been getting a ton of questions recently from past clients, friends, family, about what exactly is going on and what's been happening since the pandemic. There's some really important decisions for some of you who are looking to either buy, sell, or invest. And I think it's really important for you to have the facts and the data in order to make the best decision for you on what you'd like to do. So first, I wanted to point out something that the National Association of Realtors has pointed out is that home prices have actually risen in the United States. If you look compared March of 2019 to this March of 2020, they've actually gone up by 8%. Now, that might sound really counterintuitive. It might sound like, what? What do you mean? I thought buyers weren't buying right now, or sellers weren't having people in their homes, and like we're in a pandemic and unemployment's crazy, so how is any of this possible? So first, yes, all of that is true, but there is a historically low inventory, meaning that there are fewer homes on the market than there have ever been in history. If no additional homes came on the market, we'd run out in the Northern Virginia area in about 2 to 3 weeks of all homes, meaning that the current buyer pool would buy all of the homes that are active on the market in about 1 to 2 weeks. Typical average is, or something that you could say is average when you have both buyers and sellers at about an equal playing field, meaning there's an equilibrium between whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market, and it's a little bit more average or equal between the two groups. That's more at the 6-month mark of inventory. We've been well below that for several years now, about 4 or 5, especially in the DC, Northern Virginia areas. So the competition is still very fierce. So there's a couple things that are very true to think about. If you're looking to buy, there is still a very huge and very qualified buyer pool that's out there looking. More qualified than ever because banking standards have actually gone up in the last couple of weeks. And with those increase in criteria, meaning that the most qualified buyers possible are the ones that are earning and being qualified for a loan, that means that the buyers that are out there are the most serious, they're the most qualified to buy, and they can react the fastest. So even though slightly fewer buyers are in the market right now because of the pandemic and wanting to be safe and absolutely taking care of themselves and their families, the buyers that are still out there are the most qualified, are competing the hardest, are helping to drive up prices because of those qualifications, and they have to move. So there might be some other reason where they're like, no, we have to move. We cannot wait, and we cannot hold back on this for whatever personal reasons that they need to move at that time. So the buyer pool, while it might be a little bit softened with some people who are just like, we have to wait a little bit, the ones that are out there mean business. So there's stiff competition. So when you have really, really qualified buyers who are very motivated and they're ready to go, and you have the least amount of inventory that's ever been there or ever been available to these buyers, what that means is that the prices are driven up. So that's why you're seeing an 8% year-over-year increase in values, in home values. And truth be told, these homes are appraising. At least for me personally, I have not seen deals that are not working out because of appraisal. Now, this does not mean that is the same across the board, and your loan type can very much be indicative of any challenges with appraisal. So I would highly recommend that you speak to your loan officer, and I'm happy to facilitate those conversations with you as well about some pros and cons and things to look out for, especially while escalating, because that is something that I'm seeing on every single deal. Some of the last few contracts that I've helped buyers submit have been competing with 26 offers, 12 offers, 15 offers. Like that is the new norm, and things are going off the market in several days rather than weeks. So the average day on market in Northern Virginia right now, if you look at Arlington County, Alexandria City, Fairfax County, Loudoun County, is 4 to 5 days total. 4 to 5 days from when it goes active on the market to when it is under contract. And a lot of the reason for that is not because offers don't come in on day one, because believe me, they do. I know I personally have been writing a lot of those offers. It's because listing agents, in order to the best interest of their seller, are holding off for a day or two to collect the best and most competitive offers from as many buyers as possible to help drive up those prices. Because again, 8% year over year is quite a bit of an increase. For homeowners, this is great news, you know, especially if you're considering selling. But this is exactly what you want to be thinking about, right? Like, what, if you're on the buy side, who am I competing against? What's the best strategy for me? If you're considering selling, this might be one of the best times in history for you to sell in this area. Because again, I can't speak for all markets. This is not the case in markets like Las Vegas or Orlando, where so much of their community and those that are employed in those areas are tourism driven. So those are more heavily affected areas. But in Nova, where we have a lot of government, state, local, federal jobs and things like that, we haven't really seen as much of the effect. That doesn't mean we won't in 6 months, a year. I think we will to a little bit of a degree, but right now, if you've been thinking about making a move, that's not something that's necessarily affecting it. So for sellers, if you've been concerned, and validly so, about people walking in your house, you know, dangers surrounding that, or if there aren't enough buyers out there looking to purchase a home like yours, there's a couple of things I want to go over with you. Let me tackle the latter first. There are many, many buyers looking to buy a home just like yours in this market. And if you are concerned about selling now and not getting the value for your home, or the best value for your home, versus waiting a year, I would say you might be making a mistake. And we should definitely have a conversation about your specific situation. But most of the time right now, we're seeing incredibly short days on market, competing and multiple offers, and the best terms possible for you to make this much more guaranteed than you feel, or that you might be feeling because of all the other changes that are going on right now. So I'd say let's definitely have a conversation and see if it's the best decision for you. Everything's unique to each person and individual. So it's best that we kind of talk about your unique circumstance. Then with the former, being concerned about open houses, showings, strangers coming into your home, especially if you plan to occupy it. Let's talk about some strategies that can help you and your family stay safe. You know, again, most homes are selling in the first 4 to 5 days on the market. That means most of those showings are happening between days 1 and maybe 4. So if there is an ability to relocate even temporarily for a weekend, to stay with family or friends that are also quarantining and that's safe, I would say let's talk about solutions that can keep your family safe, but get your home sold as fast as possible. If you're concerned, oh, well, I have to sell a home, and I'm not worried about selling my home very quickly. I'm actually worried about finding a home to buy first. I completely understand that, right? The competition on the buy side is very different from the situation that's going on the seller side. So talking about what that process would look like for you as a move up buyer or move down buyer, someone who's looking to just change their home ownership situation, let's have a discussion, because there's a lot of positives that are happening right now, especially with interest rates. So if you're looking to make any kind of purchases right now, your buying power just increased. Thus also, again, why more competition. So I would say let's have a chat. If you have any questions about your specific situation, I'd love to discuss how I could help, and what is going on in the market that might be the most, might affect your ability in either your buying or selling capabilities right now. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to chat. And I hope all is well, that you and your family and your loved ones are staying safe and healthy. Talk to you soon. Bye.